Howdy, my name is Rootin, and I'm a cowboy. Say, you ever wonder how your grandpa's nose got to be so big? I'm gonna tell you, I got a story for you from when your grandpa was just a little boy. Your grandpa hurt his leg somehow, and the doctor had to put a cast on it. I found an old picture here of a cast on somebody's leg, but this one looked just like the one on your grandpa's leg when he was a little boy. Well, after a couple of weeks of being on his leg, that cast started to itch. And so your grandpa thought it would be a good idea to take a coat hanger and to straighten out that coat hanger and to stick the end of it up here at the top of that cast, between the cast and his leg, and push that down all the way to where the itch was, And once he got the end down there, he wiggled that coat hanger up and down, so the end of that coat hanger would scratch his itch. Well, he said that it felt pretty good, but what he didn't know was that the end of that coat hanger was cutting his skin, and it was bleeding. Well, later that day, our ma saw down at the bottom of the cast that all that cotton was turning red from the blood. So she loaded him up in her car, and she took him to the emergency room of the hospital, where they took him back and they saw that blood. And they cut off that cast. Well, you may be asking yourself, what does the cast on somebody's leg have to do with the size of their nose? I'm gonna tell you. Your grandpa looked down at the inside of that cast after they had cut it off his leg, and he saw all of that white cotton that was now red because of his blood, and he saw the cut in his leg, and he got up off of that table, and he walked out of that room into the waiting room. And right in the middle of that waiting room, in front of everybody, he fainted. He went down like a daisy in a hurricane. Next thing he knew, he was back in the emergency room, waking up on a table. He had the doctors and nurses' hands inside his mouth checking for broken teeth. And he had a nose that was swollen like this, like a baked potato. Well, he didn't have any broken teeth, and our ma brought him back home with a nose that was still out here like a baked potato. And after a couple of days, the nose went back, but it never got back to where it was before he fainted in the waiting room. So now you know the story of how your grandpa's nose got to be so big because of a cast on his leg when he was a little boy. Mwah. So that's the story, and so now it's time for me to sing. Happy trails to you until we meet again.